Shahira binti Azhari. So today I'm going to present about the water supply in Malaysia. So let's check it out. Water is one of the essential requirements for life. All living things need water for their survival. Water is used for a variety of purposes including drinking, fruit preparation, irrigation, and manufacturing. Although water covers more than 70% of the Earth's surface, but less than 1% of the resource is available as fresh water. And this is not evenly distributed throughout the world. According to national and international guidelines, the quantity of water available to all people should be 50 until 100 liters per person per day, or an absolute minimum of 20 liters per person per day. The water must be safe for drinking and other household uses. Drinking water must be free from pathogenic microorganisms and free from chemical and physical contaminants that constitute a danger to a person's health. It must also be free from color and odor. Water must be within safe physical reach, in or near the house, school or health facility. According to the World Health Organization (WHO), the water source has to be within 1,000 meters of the home and collection time should not exceed 30 minutes. Besides that, more than 1 billion people worldwide, mostly in developing countries, lack safe drinking water. Apart from the scarcity of water, there are many other challenges in providing a safe, adequate, and reliable water supply in many parts of the world. So, guys, what is water supply? Water supply is a process of supplying water as per community, usually including reservoirs, tunnels, and pipelines. Water supply system get water from a variety of locations after appropriate treatment, including groundwater, which is fire, surface water, which is lakes and rivers, and the sea through desalination. The water treatment steps include, in most cases, purification, disinfection, through chlorination, and sometimes fluoridation. Treated water then either flows by gravity or is pumped to reservoirs, which can be elevated, such as water towers or underground. For indicators related to the efficiency of drinking water distribution, see non-revenue water. Once water is used, wastewater is typically discharged in the sewer system and treated in sewage treatment plant before being discharged into a river, lake, or the sea, or reused for landscaping, irrigation, or industrial use. In 2010, about 56% of the global population had access to pipe water supply through house connection or to an improved water source through other means than house, including standpipes, water kiosks, spring supplies, and protected wells. However, about 13% did not have access to an improved water source and had to use unprotected wells or spring, canals, lakes, or rivers for their water needs. Clean water supply, in particular, water that is not polluted with fecal matter from lack of sanitation, is one of the most important determinations of public health with respect to the occurrence of diarrhea, disease, and deaths among children under the age of 5 years, especially in low and middle income countries. So, why is water supply is important to a building? In order to ensure the operational safety and production reliability of each industrial and buildings, water supply is one of the most important elements. Without the water supply, any sanitary convenience that must be part of manufacturing service buildings cannot be operated, meals to employees cannot be served, carry away waste, other domestic needs, and in many cases, drinking water is used in technological manufacturing process, which require to be a clean water. Water supply system must also meet requirements for public, commercial, and industrial activities. In all cases, the water must fulfill both quality and quantity requirements. Water supply also important as multi-purpose sources of water for firefighting and are really a necessary precondition for ensuring the fire safety of the whole industrial park or buildings. From the above-mentioned facts, it follows that water supply system and industrial companies form one interconnected whole. So next, we will look the types of water sources. Earth's water supply comes from a series of different phases. Some you might expect and others you might not. To fully understand the process of obtaining quality water for domestic and industrial use, it's crucial that we must first know these sources. These are the different types of water sources which can be divided into groundwater and surface water. Surface water is water that collects underground or in a stream, river, lake, reservoir, or ocean, which contain fresh water rather than salt water. Surface water is constantly replenished through precipitation and lost through evaporation and seepage into groundwater supplies. These sources are easiest to filter, so they produce the highest quality drinking water for the general public. Plus, another reason we mostly use these resources is their accessibility. Many people live near large lakes or streams from which they can easily extract water. Surface water is therefore the most reasonable option for providing homes and businesses with the resource they need to function. However, people commonly use rivers and lakes for recreational activities such as swimming and fishing. These places also play a part in the industrial manufacturing process. As such, water from these sources requires extensive sterilization before it is ready for consumption and use. While groundwater is a fresh water located in the subsurface pore space of soil and rocks, it is also water that is flowing with the aquifer below the water table. Sometimes, it is useful to make a distinction between groundwater that is closely associated with surface water and deep groundwater in an aquifer. However, we rarely get to tap into these sources due to how difficult they are to reach. Groundwater fills the cracks in bedrock and sand beneath the surface, making contaminants tedious to filter out in large quantity. These sources also saturate soil and contain so much sediment that the water must undergo a thorough filtration process to even become drinkable. So, while groundwater is the main source of plant hydration, it is not often a sustainable option for people. Fortunately, we aren't completely cut off from groundwater sources. Many of them feed some of surface water supplies through underground springs. Surface water and groundwater are both important sources for community water supply needs. Groundwater is a common source for single homes in small towns, and rivers and lakes are the usual sources of large cities. Lakes in Malaysia, natural or artificial, have multiple functions. Almost 90% of the national water supply comes from the lakes and reservoirs. So, what is water sources in Malaysia and its problem? Water resources in Malaysia are abundant and available throughout the year. They are estimated at 580 km³ per year, equivalent to more than 3,000 cubic meters per capita and year. In 1995, total water withdrawal was estimated at 12.5 km³, or less than 3% of available resources. 76% of water was used for agriculture, 11% for municipal water supply, and 30% for industry. Thus, only less than 1% of available water resources is used for drinking water supply. Malaysia uses 99% water supply for domestic use from surface water, while another 1% of the water supply from groundwater. Total internal Malaysia water resources are estimated about 580 km³ per year, and 30% water withdrawal is for municipal use. Water supply mainly from surface water and groundwater was treated and distributed to consumers as tap water, bottled drinking water, and bottled mineral water, which were used as drinking water. In Malaysia, main sources of drinking are tap water, bottled drinking water, and bottled mineral water. Water supply from surface water is widely used as drinking water in Malaysia, such as water withdrawal from Sungai Langai, Sungai Selangor, Sungai Kintat in West Coast Peninsula, Malaysia. Water supply from groundwater is also used as drinking water in a few states of Malaysia, such as Kelantan, Terengganu, Pahang, Perlis, Kedah, Sabah, and Sarawak. Municipal water consisting of untreated surface water and groundwater needs to be treated before the water is made potable. A total of 488 water treatment plants (WTP) are operated in Malaysia to treat municipal water before the water is supplied to consumers. There are also a few problems of water resources in Malaysia. One of them is water scarcity. Water scarcity, which is known as water stress or water crisis, is the lack of fresh water resource to meet the standard water demand. Humanity is facing a water crisis due to unequal distribution, resulting in some very wet and some very dry geographic locations. Plus, a sharp rise in global freshwater demand in recent decades driven by industry. Water scarcity can also be caused by drought, lack of rainfall, or pollution. Water pollution is one of the main concerns of the world today. The government of numerous countries have struggled to find solutions to reduce this problem. Many pollutants threaten water supplies, but the most widespread, especially in developing countries, is the discharge of raw sewage into natural waters. For example, most of drinking water sources are from surface water and groundwater, which are susceptible to heavy metal pollution due to natural occurrence and anthropogenic activities. Climate change could have significant impacts on water resources around the world because of the close connection between the climate and hydrological cycle. Rising temperature will increase evaporation and lead to increase in precipitation, though there will be regional variation in rainfall. Both droughts and floods may become more frequent in different regions at different times, and dramatic changes in snowfall and snowmelt are expected in mountainous areas. Next is technology that can be implemented to solve the problem of water contamination in Malaysia. Water contamination occurs when harmful substances, often chemicals or microorganisms, contaminate a stream, river, lake, ocean, aquifer, or other body of water, degrading water quality and rendering it toxic to humans or the environment. Generally in Malaysia, it is caused by point and non-point sources. Point sources comprise sewage treatment plants, manufacturing and agro-based industry as well as animal farms, while non-point sources are made up of diffuse sources such as agriculture activities and surface runoff. There has to be a more sustainable solution to managing this vital source. For example, new technologies such as water treatment technology landscape. There are already proven membrane and electrochemical technologies that can remove such typical industrial pollutants. This technology can overcome the water treatment system used in the country, which is not able to remove some pollutants, especially those produced by industrial premises that do not properly treat their effluent. The slightest signs of a high level of such pollutants measured by their order numbers would prompt water operators to stop the treatment system. This is to avoid having the pollutants enter the water supply distribution network. In doing so, the entire water supply is distributed, creating economic and social consequences. Besides that, the use of advanced water treatment technology can serve as a long-term solution in addressing the issue of raw water contamination. This technology is proven to be effective in treating raw water as compared with the conventional treatment method used in this country. The current method being used is not updated. Even developed countries like the United States are still using the same technology, but the control aspect of river basin areas that is better than in Malaysia, thus reducing the risk of contamination and disposal of water industry industry into water resource. In addition is green agriculture. Globally, agriculture accounts for 70% of water resources. So it is essential to have climate-friendly crops, efficient irrigation, and reduce the need for water and energy-efficient food production. Green agriculture is also crucial to limit the chemical